Oh, wow. What a Whoa! Oh, no.
Welcome back to another episode of JoJo's Big Frank and Beans. This is where you can find all your Central Virginia's sci-fi and pop culture comic store chat. I kind of like store chat instead of shop chat.
You mixed it up.
I'm one of your hosts, Big, and with me, as always,
Frank, and with me, sometimes not as always, but, you know. Mixed it up, Big.
Yeah.
Nice. Way to go.
Yeah, trying to do something a little different. So it's same theme in the beginning, but at least it kind of, I'll figure out which one I like best and probably stick to it eventually.
Seemed pretty smooth that time.
Yeah, what's going on, guys? What have y'all been up to?
A lot of the same stuff, really.
A lot of the same stuff. Been watching Jeopardy and all the news about Jeopardy recently.
It's been kind of crazy, huh?
Really crazy.
Did Alec Trebek come back?
They'd be better off
That
if he
would
did.
be
Yeah.
awesome.
I gotta say that I bet their viewers have gone up a lot since all this has been going on.
The viewership doesn't change because it's only like 70-year-old people.
There's always going to be a group of 70-year-olds to watch it.
So I hadn't watched it in a long time, and I started watching
Me
again
neither.
just to check it out. So
I didn't know it was still on. I thought once Alec was gone, then there was no more Jeopardy.
It's going to be on forever.
I didn't even think
You
about
can't
it.
mess with old people's Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy.
yeah, you'd have a
mean,
riot.
It's the only thing they have.
I mean, I stopped watching both of those when Bob died, and when Alec died, I stopped watching them both. I mean, I tried to
But
watch,
you're not 70 years old. It's not a requirement for you yet.
but I used to enjoy it. So you're saying when I'm 70, I'm going to enjoy that shit again?
Yes,
What if it's
You'll
not
probably be back
there?
in diapers again too.
that's right.
That sounds horrible. Damn it! So what's happened with Jeopardy?
Yeah.
I mean, Alec didn't come back, did he?
No,
No, they got this producer.
Mike Richards.
Yeah, and not the Michael Richards who's funny, who would be good at hosting a show. This is just some guy, and apparently he became the new host for about a week until they realized that he had, I don't know, sexually molested people or something along those lines.
That's bad.
How does that stay covered up for so long?
Because he doesn't become the host of a national TV show. He stays back in the behind the scenes where nobody cares who he is.
So something else that bubbled up is that he had a podcast, and he was actually making derogatory remarks. He had one in 2013 and 2014, and I guess he was like talking bad about Jews, little people receiving unemployment benefits.
Like midgets?
Yeah.
Like
Is it, can you call them midgets?
Like literally midget people, not like the little people.
I don't
you know,
know.
like
It just
the
said
masses.
little people.
Okay.
I thought midgets and little people were the same. Whatever.
I don't-
So it happened in 2013, 2014. So my only advice to this is be careful what we say on here.
I was just thinking
Because we can't host Jeopardy?
I was just thinking
Exactly.
Big's never running for president. Now I just talked about little fucking people.
What I don't understand is they had like these trials where they brought in all these famous people who were all famous hosts or actors.
Did they burn them?
They were auditioning for
Not
Jeopardy.
Not witch trials. Oh, Jeopardy. Okay.
So
Not burning folks.
how does this guy take the
that.
cake when I mean, it seems like the worst one of them should have been.
Well, isn't he like, director, producer, something like that? Isn't he like way up in the chain?
I think he's the executive producer of the show.
So he just
He has money.
He appointed himself. He was like,
Right.
I think I'll just do it.
I'm in charge here. I think I'm the guy for the job.
Yep.
What was that? Was that Horrible Bosses where dude was like supposed to get the promotion and his boss said, "I'm just gonna tear my wall down and take both of these offices, and I'll do both the jobs,
That's right.
and I won't bother anybody else with it, and I'm doubling my salary." Like, wow, what a nice thing to do.
Must be good to be king.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Huh.
So the Avengers are doing a campaign, a vaccine, a COVID vaccine campaign.
Did one of them get sick?
That's a good question.
So it's with a organization in New York, I believe, a group of doctors, and they're doing it's a vaccine awareness campaign, and part of it is this comic book. It's called Avengers: We Are Resilient, and apparently in the comic book it talks about frontline workers and stuff, and credits them to being the real heroes or whatever.
Interesting. I wonder if they're going to start making like guest appearance at like Comic-Cons and stuff like that.
I was thinking like vaccine places.
Oh,
like
yeah.
CVS's and shit.
I mean, I guess that would work for like if it was a little kid, right? He'd probably be like, "Oh, the Avengers can do it, I can do
Everybody likes the Avengers.
it." Exactly.
So,
I'm wondering if the comic book's available outside of New York.
right? You might be taking a trip. You'll get COVID while you're there.
That's right.
And a book about people that can't be sick. Thanks.
So Hugh Jackman, huh? He's so Ben, you were telling us about this. It was I guess he was saying
At some point, he made a statement.
yeah, and then he like retracted it, or
Well, no,
And
so he
revised
fibbed
it
or
a
whatever.
little.
right. He I think it was on a podcast that he was interviewed, and he was asked the question, what movie was the most different from the script to what the finished product was. And he brought up the X-Men, the first X-Men movie, and he said that his statement was like a week before the movie was released, 45 minutes of the film was cut. But since then, he's been asked about it again, and he kind of says, well, maybe 45 minutes is an exaggeration, and maybe a week before is an exaggeration. But he does stand by the fact that he says the movie was a much different movie.
45 minutes is a lot more to a movie.
Oh, yeah, especially when that movie's an hour and a half long.
That's what I was going to say.
Even if it was 20 minutes.
Yeah.
They took 20 minutes out. That could change the whole movie.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently, I think the Danger Room was supposed to be in there, and Beast was supposed to be in there.
Oh, wow.
So who knows? Maybe there's a DVD coming our way with extra features on it.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
It's all been planned from the beginning.
Probably.
Yep.
Just another way to get another dollar out
to
of
fool the consumer.
What is it at this point? Like 22 years or something?
It's probably very close to some type of
It came out.
mark.
I think it was 2000. So it's it's getting close to 22 years.
So, yep, they're going to release the special edition, $150. Buy this now, only here. Extra footage. And everybody will buy it. And then Wolverine will have more money.
Because that's what he needs.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Off of the movie made 20 years ago. Wow, 22 years ago. What's that? What time?
I know that sound.
What?
Big time.
Holy crap.
Big time news with big time. Speaking of, I guess, companies just trying to get more money out of you. So Skyrim, the legendary video game,
I remember that
is
one.
being released, re-released for the 6th time. The game has been out for 10 years. And it's being re-released for the 6th time. So they have like the 1-year anniversary, and then they have like the 3-year anniversary, and then
They sell the same game again?
So they make little tweaks to it each time.
The funny thing about it is they've made other games after that one. Like, that's not like the last game they've made, and they just keep re-releasing it. That's like they have a better game. They have like Oblivion, and there's another game that's made by them, Elder Scrolls, and like both of those I think are better than the one they keep remaking.
Oblivion is one of the best games,
I mean,
hands down,
so
ever made.
I'm kind of confused why they just keep re-releasing this.
Well, I'm not
same
confused
one
that they keep re-releasing it because somebody's buying it. Now,
a
who,
lot.
So
who's
they're
buying
different
it?
times.
So they're duping the consumers again. We were just talking about that, right? So
They
they're like,
upgrade graphics a little bit, and then they change little things here and there.
and think of the price, right? So they start out high, and then as the game gets older, it comes down. With then they're like anniversary edition, get a new sword, and then
Back
they
to
just jack.
$60 for 2 more years until it starts to fall, and then they come out with something else.
And then they have another anniversary, 2-year anniversary, 3-year anniversary.
So do you think it's the same people buying it again, or is it like a whole new audience this time?
I own 2 copies of Oblivion.
You
Um,
so it works on
I-
you, is what you said. here.
I
Yeah.
have bought it before, and if I just bought a game that I bought The Witcher again, and it was on sale for $9. So I bought The Witcher 3 for $9.
So you're making fun of it, but it does apparently work.
I wouldn't buy it for $60
No.
again.
No.
I would buy it on a sale, a good sale. Like I wouldn't spend another $60 on the same game.
Yeah. If it got
Um,
down to like $10, it'd probably be. I could do that.
Now, granted, like 7 Days to Die, I used to play it for the console, and I bought it. I actually bought that one. Oh my God, a couple different times. I bought 7 Days to Die when me and Ryan first started playing
I
it.
have 2 copies of that.
It was supposed to be cross compatible. Like you could play. Ryan said you could play. Like if I had Xbox, I could play on PlayStation. Like
Mhm.
with Ryan, who had different console, and that didn't work. So I went and bought another console, like whatever one Ryan had. I can't remember if it was PlayStation or Xbox. I went and bought the other one, and then I bought 7 Days for that. So I bought 7 Days for PlayStation, and that didn't work. So I bought an Xbox, and then 7 Days for Xbox.
And now you have it for the computer.
And I bought it on PC once I got the PC up and running.
It sounds
So-
like this marketing is very effective on you.
But the PC game is completely different from the console version.
Night and day.
Yeah,
Night
it's
and day better.
so I would be willing to rebuy all of my PlayStation games on PC if it's that much of a difference between the two. I would gladly spend the money. I mean, I had Witcher 3 for PlayStation or whatever, Xbox, whichever one, I don't remember, but I've already seen a huge difference in the graphics in that game. It was pretty cool, actually. There was like a storm coming through, and like the wind was blowing, trees were like bending over, and it was kind of like, holy shit, I should go inside. And and it was pretty neat. So
You felt your arm getting wet. You're like,
yeah, like what the fuck. So yeah, that didn't happen in PlayStation. So much better for PC.
Yeah, for sure. Did y'all hear that they released a Matrix 4 trailer?
Yeah.
And
the name of the movie.
yeah, Resurrections. I'm kind of so you can't find the trailer if you just Google it, but you can find people talking about it because it was actually released. I guess Warner Brothers did a thing called CinemaCom Reel. So I guess it's like a Comic-Con but for like movies. And I mean I'm pumped, but it's not coming out for a while. So when they talk about it, did you guys happen to watch the video of it at all?
I watched a guy talk about
Y-
the trailer.
I
Tell-
read the thing. I didn't watch a video. I
Oh.
read the article.
Before we even get to the trailer, is it resurrection singular or resurrections plural?
Or
do you know?
With an S, Resurrections.
Well, that's interesting in itself.
I actually copied and pasted that onto our rundown, so I know. Well, if the website I took it from
Is
was
right.
true. Yeah, but yeah. So I guess he talks about it, and Neo. What's his real name? Ted or something like that? No, I'm
Ted
thinking
Theodore
of
Logan.
yeah, I'm thinking of a different movie.
You mean his character's name?
Yeah.
Anderson? Is it Ted? It might be Ted Anderson.
Holy crap! He's two Teds.
They do say it. I do know that it was.
Yeah, his boss says it
I
to
just-
him. I'm pretty sure.
I just remember Mr. Anderson.
it's
you know?
something simple like Bill or
Bill and Ted.
or one of those two. It's like
Or Wick. I don't know.
something really simple, John, or
So what the guy describes in the video is basically like,
They fooled him.
I guess Keanu, we'll call him Keanu, was like dropping blue pills or eating blue pills or something like that. And I guess he runs into Trinity, and it's like they know each other, but they don't know each other. It's just like an awkward moment for them. December, it said 22, so I'm guessing that's 2022.
I don't think it's the 22nd of this year.
A year from December, so
Yeah.
about a year and a half or something like that, if they don't postpone it for
COVID.
Corona round 2 or COVID or whatever.
So speaking of the Comic-Con, so New York City is finally doing theirs coming up soon, October 7th through the 10th, at the Manhattan Javits, I think I'm saying that right, Center. They haven't had a New York City Comic-Con in 2 years.
So is this a real Comic-Con or is this one of these virtual things?
So it's real. You can go in person. The only stipulation is you have to prove that you've been vaccinated and you have to wear a mask. But they're also doing a virtual one. So I looked around to see what they were going to have, and I found titles, but I didn't see like who was going to be there. Looks like a lot of Star Trek stuff. But it didn't tell me like exactly who that person is from Star Trek. Or, is it the cast? Is it the writers? Whatever. So coming soon. Maybe the COVID Avengers, vaccine Avengers will be there.
Show up.
They're the ones checking the vaccinations.
Exactly.
If you try to break in, they'll like break your neck or pick you up and they'll try to fool them.
So Ben actually brought this one up. Savage Dragon number 2060. So normally
260.
I'm sorry, 260. So normally they'll do different covers, but I guess this one is like they're doing the same storyline but two separate books.
Yes.
Two separate people are inking them, right?
Right, or doing the lettering.
Lettering, that's what it is.
So apparently there's been a falling out between Eric Larson and the guy who was doing the lettering. The guy complained on Facebook about work always being late or something, and so he quit. So Larson's looking for another guy to do lettering, and he's got 2 lined up. So this is going to be like the first comic where the interior of the comic is different rather than the covers being different. And, it'll be the same story, just different lettering.
So is this like a test to see who wins?
I think so. I think it's a job audition, basically.
Wow. Where they all get to make some money off of it. That's
Yeah, apparently so.
Everybody wins except for that guy who quit his job working at the comic book place. I'm kind of confused at that. How can that suck?
Well,
But I'm sure it's going to drive sales because, I don't read Savage Dragon, but I'll get that just so I can see the 2 different versions, and just so, it's the first time it's ever happened to my knowledge.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah. So I added something else on here kind of after the fact. Actually, my wife told me about it. Lock and Key Season 2 is coming out soon. Did y'all ever watch Lock
I
and
did
Key?
watch that.
Yeah.
Actually, we watched some here.
Did
Yeah.
we?
Yeah.
It's the weird kid who has like the keyhole in the back of his neck. Remember that?
Vaguely.
Are you trying to block it from your mind?
That's all I remember about it. It wasn't bad. I remember
Thought it
it
was kinda
being
cool.
I remember it being pretty good, but I don't remember what happened.
Didn't it come out right around the same time as the Umbrella Academy?
Maybe.
I think
I
that
don't
might be why I
remember.
don't remember it, because I like the Umbrella Academy so much. But I vaguely remember it.
I just started rewatching that.
I thought it was pretty cool. It's kind of like a Goonies, but a mysterious house vibe. And, they go and get a key, and each key does something different. And it's like one of them turns them into a ghost, and they just fly around like it's crazy. It's cool to, like, build up on the storyline of when they find the keys and what they do. But, all good things come to an end, but it can't go but so far. But at least it's going into next season. So October release date. They didn't have a legitimate date there, but thought that was kind of cool.
Was that a Netflix thing?
That was Netflix. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'll watch it. I'll have to rewatch the first season.
So I was gonna go and watch it again today, and I was like, shoot, I'm running late. I better shower and stuff. So I'm gonna rewatch it again. Some of the stuff was far-fetched, but some of it was kind of cool.
I think most of the stuff we watch is far-fetched.
I think that's a requirement.
A little bit.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I know my wife doesn't like to watch a lot of things that I watch. Like What If. She's like,
She's not into What If?
Doesn't like What If?
So I was like, hey, can we watch? We were going to get dinner, and I was like, hey, I'm going to watch What If afterwards. Or while I'm eating dinner, and I was like, do you want to join? And she was like, sure. And you could tell she was not having it. Like, she was on her phone. She wasn't paying any attention, so whatever. It's all good.
So this week, the Echo Lands #1 came out. It's a kind of an interesting book. It's pretty much like a fairy tale kind of story. The lead character is really just a ripoff of Little Red Riding Hood, except she's an assassin.
Interesting.
It starts off with, she's telling the story of how she kind of had the perfect childhood and grew up in this little cottage, and her parents were loving and protected her and stuff.
I knew Little Red Riding Hood was always a badass, and she never broke loose.
And what she says is until she became the Red or joined the Red or something like that. And so she makes that mention a couple of times, and then what this first issue is about basically is like she steals something, and these guys are chasing her, and she's slipping away in this town, and even part of it is she's running away from them, and she's running through a crowd, and some of the characters that are in the crowd are like Clint Eastwood and Evel Knievel. And it's like this post-apocalyptic world where anyone can exist. And it's kind of interesting.
Different.
It's cool how it's laid out. That's like a like a children's book. Like instead of like a regular comic, you open it up more like a book.
Right. It yeah, it's this weird layout, and it does kind of lend itself well. I mean, the way it's drawn and everything. I'm glad it wasn't like the X-Force and Spider-Man crossover from the 90s, where remember it was laid out like this, but you had you still flipped it open the same way. But yeah, it was whatever this Red is that she has is some type of superpower too. So she makes people's heads explode at one point.
Whoa.
But
jeez, that's
check
not
it out.
Very nice. It's a pretty heavy book. Wow.
I enjoyed it. I'll get the next one.
It's pretty cool. And this is an image book, you said?
Yeah. It just came out on Wednesday.
Wow. Pretty cool. Might have to pick that one up. You want to check it out, Big? And that's #1, huh?
Yep.
It's cool. A little trippy. The back of it's pretty trippy.
Yeah, there's 2 different covers too.
Did you get both of them?
Yep.
I saw you had the Barbarian comic in there. Barbarian, is that what it is?
Probably Barbaric.
Barbaric?
Yeah. That one's pretty good.
Have you read that one yet?
I read the first one. I think the one that came out this week was #2.
So you haven't read the second one?
No, not yet.
Because you gave the first one pretty rave reviews.
Well, I'm trying to remember what happened in the first one now.
I mean, I remember
that
what the
That was the one that was
just read it when we were talking about it.
right. It was pretty brutal, wasn't it? I think that's what.
you were talking about how the axe can talk. And
Oh yeah, he talks to his axe, and he's all crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, that is a good book.
Nice.
You guys been watching any more of The Walking Dead?
I've tried.
I made it up to season 8, and it was just constantly the same thing. You know, Negan fighting Rick. So I kind of gave up on watching everything, but I did watch the new episode for season 11.
I got to Terminus, and then I tried to watch, and I think I'm kind of dreading what I know is coming. So I don't watch anymore. Like I just
Quit
kind of
while
like
you're ahead.
stop. Yeah, I mean like I know what's getting ready to happen, and I don't want to ruin that again.
Mm-hmm.
So I just kind of stopped.
Did you skip to the new one? Has there only been one that came out? I didn't watch it. I apologize.
Yeah. Apparently, if you pay for AMC's online service, you can watch the episodes early.
Mm.
Like I saw on their little app that if you do the pay service, you could watch episode 2, season 11, episode 2, but otherwise it doesn't come out till Sunday.
What else does AMC have that
I don't know.
that's worth like paying a subscription
well,
for?
first of all, is Walking Dead worth paying a subscription
Definitely,
for?
definitely not. I mean, especially if it comes out on like regular TV, like in 3 more days or
Right.
something. Like that doesn't make any sense to me. So what else do they have
I-
to even offer something like that? I
I don't know.
Got nothing.
I mean, on the Fire Stick, I think it has choices. Well, I know it has choices of like Netflix and Amazon and all the all the big names, all the streaming channels, and that's not on there. That's not even one that I can steal. Like they don't even offer that one. Like, so I'm thinking they probably don't have a lot.
Probably not.
Like they don't even have.
So you're
things that
saying it's so worthless that no one even wants to steal it?
they can't give that crap away, whatever it might be. So yeah, I did not watch The Walking Dead.
Mm.
I'm going with my memories of what I have.
So Rick is not in it anymore. Carol looks old. Like she looks like a little old lady.
I thought Carol was always old,
Well,
like from the beginning.
She's always had gray hair, but she doesn't. I don't
She
ever
doesn't
think she
look
looked old.
old. So now she looks old.
She looks like she looks old. And then
How long has The Walking Dead been out?
this is 11 seasons.
Okay.
So
Jesus.
I think it came out in 2010.
So in 10 years, she went from.
It's 10 years of having to deal with zombies and crazy people. It's just gonna age you.
Did they all
yeah.
age the same?
Hell, I've only been doing my job for 3 years.
And you look like you're 90.
Look at me.
Good point. I guess they don't age all like that because most of them are probably dead.
That's true. Did you watch the new one?
I didn't. No, I apologize. I totally forgot. And then when I sat here, I was like, "Oh crap! I was supposed to watch The Walking Dead."
It wasn't bad. But you know, it wasn't anything to write home about either. Negan is part of their group now, and they constantly give him shit. They're going to attack some people that displaced Maggie from, I guess, the hilltop.
They displaced her.
Like,
they
yeah,
took
they
it from her.
They came in and took it, and now she's convinced everybody to go back with her, and try to take it back, even though they seem to unanimously agree that it's like a death sentence. Like it's a suicide mission.
Oh,
So that
this
was
is the last season, right?
this is the last season, and it was episode 1.
Seems like a good decision to me.
So where they ended it pretty much is they're in this tunnel that's full of zombies that are wrapped in plastic for some reason, and so they're just all over the floor. and then they're going through and stabbing them in the head, trying to get to wherever they need to be to fight these people. Yeah.
Huh.
Did you guys watch What If?
I did.
The most latest
Yes.
ones? So we've seen 3 so far. Which one is your favorite?
3 by far.
I like the first one.
I like the
So
first
far.
one.
Yep.
Yep.
First one's my favorite one, and then the third one, and then the second one. But yeah, I thought the latest episode was really cool.
Well-
That's probably my favorite. How it looked. The third episode is like the animations and crap was my favorite.
The Hulk exploding was kind of cool.
Yes. Yeah, that was neat. I really they used a lot of the 3D looking crap in that episode. So in that aspect of it, that was my favorite episode. But I like the story from the first episode the best so far.
Bean, why did you?
I think I liked it the best because it was the biggest variance from the actual story.
That's what I was gonna note too. Yeah.
Yeah, and it wasn't really about introducing characters into, a different role or anything like that. It was, what if one of them got pissed and killed the others?
Went the other way. He got mad that they didn't need him anymore. Like, yeah, you suck. We're not going your route anymore.
Right.
And then they turned him into a supervillain, like Elon Musk.
So, Frank Pym, is that his name?
Hank.
I'm sorry. Hank Pym. So he basically turned himself into a molecule or a virus and kind of took a lot of these players down, the Avengers down. And I was like, man, is that... And in our rundown, we had the COVID Avengers, and I was like, what is going on? Did they try to do this at the same time? Did they release the COVID Avengers and then...
See, kids, you don't get the vaccine, you fucking die.
Exactly.
So
it even kills the Hulk. You better go get it.
This whole COVID thing has been a scam from the beginning. Disney did this. Disney made COVID for this very week.
The lab in China was actually a Disney animation
Disney
studio.
owned by
I think-
Disney.
I think you should get in line to sue them.
Maybe yes.
Sounds like everybody else is recently. So just
you
get...
can't,
Further
you
out
can't
of
say
money.
shit like that on the internet. There's fuckers out there that'll believe it.
I know.
I wonder if suing them is like a ride at their amusement park, right? They're just like, next.
Stand over here.
And then
Wait your turn.
they're like, all right, so what's your grievance? No, you go into that pile. You go that way. The rest of these people go that way.
Awesome.
I liked What If, and I think
Definitely.
although the first one was my favorite, it's probably because I love Captain America and his storyline, and that actually, when the lab exploded, that happened in the storyline. It just happened at a different time. So that one time point, that explosion went off at a different time, which changed the whole course of the history, and that's what I liked.
That's
about
what
it.
I liked about it too. That it was just a tiny bit different than what really happened in the first story. So that's what I liked about it. But then I also liked, like Ben was saying, it was completely different than anything else. So that's why this show is great.
Yeah.
Like, they can do anything.
I could watch, this show. I could watch endless episodes of this show.
For sure. They could do endless episodes of this show.
I hope they do.
Endless. That'd be kind of cool if they did the same episode, but different things happened in it.
Yeah.
And like a part 1 and a part 2 of an episode, and
That Batman Death in the Family DVD is kind of like that. So it's like a choose your own adventure kind of thing,
Oh,
Nice.
where
wow.
you have multiple choices to make different things happen.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
So you could watch it I think it's 7 different times and have 7 different outcomes.
That's pretty cool. I didn't know they had such a thing.
Yeah,
They did
I've
like
got
a
it.
Black Mirror episode that was that way too.
Yeah.
That was called Boulder Dash or
Yeah.
some British word. with a B.
I think it was Boulder Dash.
Why don't they have that on like Netflix or something?
Well, that's what he just said. They had
Oh,
the
I'm
Black
sorry.
Mirror.
Yeah,
I didn't-
Black Mirror.
I don't know what Black Mirror is.
Black Mirror is like a Twilight Zone show, kind of. A lot of weird, cool stories. I enjoyed it every season. There's like 3 or 4 of them.
Mm-hmm.
It's a British thing, so kind of have to get past that. And a couple of the first season episodes are pretty low budget. But
It's like Clerks and
it's it's more low budget than that.
oh man.
Like Sci-Fi Channel.
But like
okay.
it's like if I remember correctly, like the first season had like a couple of really cheesy low budget things, but then they had like one story that they looked like they dumped money into, where you could tell it was a high production thing, or maybe just somebody else did that story. I'm not really sure, but the first season's kind of different, and then
And every episode is its own little story, just like the Twilight Zone would be. And
Yeah,
so
I
everything,
enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
good stuff.
there's also a show called Lore that's really cool. I don't know if y'all have seen that,
Mm-mm.
but that's about like folklore stories from the past, and they tell those stories, like where they came from and how they came about. Pretty cool.
Hmm.
Pretty freaking cool.
Well, neat.
What else do we got? Is that
That's it.
That is it. We
That's it?
Yep.
Yep.
Do you know
Not
the
torturing our fans
anymore?
for
What's the famous word that people don't say anymore that we're trying to bring back?
the N-word?
Skedaddle? No.
What are you talking about?
Skedaddle? We're leaving. We're done.
Oh, skedaddle.
Skedaddle. Bye.
Adios.
See you next time.